Hi, good evening. It's Diane from Stamping with Diane, and I am coming to you with week 3 of our Vintage Tools tea and cards. So, quick reminder, week 1 we embossed and colored on our embossing and used a variety of the tools. Week 2 we did the Europlane Awesome and put some stamping inside, and we trimmed off a little piece of the front. So week 3, very simple design, but I think it's extremely effective. So in your package for week 3, you should have some very vanilla cardstock for your base, and you'll have some Night of Navy. So regular size card base, 4 1/4 it's scored at, and it's the full 5.5 width and of course 8.5 long. So I've scored it down the center. That's our card base. And then I've cut a piece of the Night of Navy, just about 1/8 of an inch smaller all the way around, and 1/8 of an inch smaller is our very vanilla, and this is going to be our card front. So let's get started right away with that, and I think I'm going to show you 2 different designs. So Night of Navy is going to be my focal point, and I would like to use the plane again, not the airplane, but the plane of our toolkit. So I'm going to stamp this one just kind of about 1/3 of the way down, I'm going to say. And I'm going to do this twice because I wanted to do 2 designs, but we might as well do them simultaneously. So about the same part here with that Night of Navy. And I've mentioned this in the past, but just how vivid and clear this stamp set is. The detail on there is incredible. So I've got my chamois off to the side here, giving this a clean wipe. Make sure I don't have any of the navy left on there. And now I'm going to stamp with Sahara sand. So I'll pop that navy out of the way for now. And I'm going to use the Sahara sand to go around and add, a lot more of these planes. Your plane awesome. So I'm going to try and kind of line these up a little bit, and I want them just to go off the page. Now it's a large stamp, so you have to leave yourself quite a bit of space in here in order to make this work. So I'm just kind of offsetting, but I do want to keep this as straight as I can, so I'm kind of using my grid paper there to help me out. And maybe we'll come up here now. One there, coming across. There we go. I hope you've had a good day today. Can't believe September is already kind of winding up, isn't it? So let's just give, I'd like this one to be more centered. So let's bring it over here. And then just give a little tip here and a little tip there. Okay, so I really wanted this blue one to pop. So let's do that similar look, but let's try it a little bit more random. So again, let me just wipe this one off, and I'm going to peel that, and I'm going to pull in some of our smaller tools. We have this little chisel and a bigger chisel set, and I just thought we'd play and see what it looks like if we just kind of do some random chisels here and not making it as uniform as I did with the first one. Maybe some down here and up here. I'll add a few more in. Maybe we'll go this way. I love that with our stamps. You can just twist and turn them however you wish. And I think we have room for another in here. Let's turn this one. Again, no real right or wrong, but my goal this time round is again to make this plain pop. All right, going to set those to the side and come in now again with our navy, and we are going to use the same sentiment we used last time, just because the You're Plain Awesome is just so sweet. So I'm doing Night of Navy on our very vanilla card base, and I'm coming in with my double oval punch. Again, this just seems to really work so nicely with the size of this sentiment. So I'm gonna pop, oops, got a little bit too long here on the bottom to allow that to sit flat. There we go, just trimmed a little bit off there. Bring it right down, centering that in my oval punch for the bottom piece. I want just the plain oval. And then we will coordinate that with a piece of Night of Navy, and we'll give it the scalloped punch look. There we go. And you know what, I might as well do that a second time. Just grabbing another little scrap here. Let's do that again, because we are going to try and turn this into two different cards. You're Plain Awesome. I'll punch the blue, the navy, and punch the oval. Looks like I'm going to get the scalloped oval as well. That's fine. I'll hang on to that for another card. There we go. So I will mount this sentiment on top of the navy. And there's another trick I want to show you today, because this card is going to come together rather quickly for us. So I wanted to show you another little trick with this stamp set that I've been playing with. Okay, so first off, going to adhere the Night of Navy layer onto my vanilla card base. Now I'm just using the very vanilla regular. I'm not using the, sorry, I didn't get that quite straight. I'm not using the thick vanilla. I certainly could, but if I don't have too many layers on a card, then I can get away with just using the regular weight. Okay, so here is the one option. And we pop our sentiment on like so. Okay, and allow that just to pop. And let's try and build it with our other option today. So this time, oh, I better trim this one up a little bit. Coming off camera just for a second to trim this down a wee bit. And I think I'll take a little bit off the edge as well. Both sides. I didn't quite measure that correctly. Always handy to have your trimmer nearby. Okay, so now I'm going to put this layer up on top, and you can decide which way you like it best. I just wanted to show you a couple of options tonight of ways to use these stamps. Use the variety. So again, I think you can see that plain really pops, and we'll put a few dimensionals on the back of the label here, just using some of the small dimensionals. You get about 700 of those small mini dimensionals, so I do sometimes use those. The larger ones are the same thickness, which is rather handy. And we can put that up here or down here. There we go. And we'll finish this off with a few of our rustic metallic adhesive backed dots. That's a mouthful. Rustic metallic adhesive backed dots. And I think I'll put a large and a couple of small around here. Another one up. Maybe we'll put it right in here. There we go. So we have this option or this option of your plain awesome using the two different styles, okay, of a variety of the tools, or just sticking with the plain itself. Okay, so I hope you like one of those at least. And now, just quickly before I let you go, I brought a couple of scraps of our white, and I wanted to show you with the detail on these. You can also color these with our Stampin' Write markers. So I'm going to use this chisel and make it the Mary Merlot. So I'm using the wide tipped end and hard. I don't press. When you're using these markers, you don't want to press hard at all. Just lightly to cover over. If you want, you can just warm that a little bit with your breath before stamping. And with this way, I wiggled a little bit there, you can see you can get your two tones. All right, you can get a variety of colors for your cards. So let's try that once more with this smaller, I'm calling it a chisel, I believe that's the proper name. And it looks like I've missed a section in the center, but that is how the stamp is designed, and that's what gives it that nice texture and depth. Bring this right up. A little bit of warm breath on there, and stamp. And again, you can see then how you could turn these tools into any colors that you have with our Stampin' Write markers. Very, very effective, very effective. And I'll show you what I did with this. I have these Picture This dies, and I have to confess I don't use them as often as I'd like. So I really wanted to try with this stamp set. And this is a design I came up with where I could fit the tools in the big circles, and then to pop out with this Mary Merlot, I stamped some of the nails in Mary Merlot and popped them in behind and added in, again, I love this oval sentiment. And I also tried it with the other shape of the Picture This dies, and I found that the plain, and I used that technique here to get the two different colors and stamp that It's Your Day in the center. And I decided to double layer this with a little bit of dimension in there. So another version of card using Picture This dies as well. Today we tried the You're Plain Awesome. So all of those ideas, September host code is still valid. I have updated my link tree to cover all of the Christmas, right up to Christmas events that I'm having, and I would love to have you join me. So take care. Bye for now. Let me know in the comments which cards you like the best today. Have a great week.